President Tinubu addresses 2025 BRICS, pushes for inclusive development.
Nigeria therefore called on BRICS to lead a new path of justice anchored on fairness, sustainable technology, transfer and accessible financing.
Federal government commends Nigerian army's sacrifices, pledges continued support.
The men and women of the Nigerian Army and Armed Forces more broadly, I affirm the present administration's unwavering commitment to your welfare and operational capacity.
Nigeria Immigration Service launches amnesty program for foreign nationals with expired visas.
And Good Morning Nigeria. Today we shall focus on 2025 BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
The 17th BRICS Summit is underway in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and this year it is more than a meeting. It marks a defining turning point in the evolution of the bloc.
Now, with its recent expansion, BRICS is now entering a phase of greater cooperation, one characterized by broader participation, stronger representation, and a louder voice on global issues.
At a time when the world is navigating economic uncertainties, trade barriers, and shifting power centers, BRICS is positioning itself as a viable alternative, pushing for new models of growth and global governance.
This new chapter reflects the growing weight of the global south and the push towards a multipolar world order.
Over 20 countries are attending this year's summit, including full members and strategic partners. Nigeria, led by President Bola Tinubu, is participating as a partner nation, using the platform to advance its economic reform agenda and attract fresh investments.
And also joining the conversation are countries like Mexico, Colombia, and Uruguay. Following an invitation from host President Luis Inacio Lula da Silva, the theme for this year is strengthening global South cooperation for more inclusive and sustainable governance.
So why is BRICS expanding now? What does a bigger BRICS mean for global power dynamics? And how might its growing reach affect institutions like the IMF, the World Bank, and even the UN?
Well, we'll tackle these questions and more as we dig into the implication of this year's summit, from geopolitics to investment trends and Nigeria's place in it all.
Amadimola Adeoye, thank you for joining us this Monday morning, the first edition for the week. This is Good Morning Nigeria.
And I am Jumai Yusuf. We are live on the network service of the NTA. Chukudi Okologbaja will join us later for newspaper review.
But first, here is Stella Namete with today's news highlights. Good morning, Stella.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ademola. Good morning, Jume. Here is the morning news. Nigeria is reaffirming its commitment to strategic collaborations that translate to sustainable and inclusive development for all, as the country calls on the BRICS to lead a new path of justice in the world. President Tinubu made the commitment while addressing the 2025 BRICS Summit of Heads of State and Government in Rio de Janeiro.
Nigeria therefore called on BRICS to lead a new path of justice anchored on fairness, sustainable technology, transfer and accessible financing, such that emerging economies can fully benefit from the various initiatives in this field.
As the push for cleaner energy grows stronger, President Bola Tinubu has urged a fair energy transition that will not just jeopardize jeopardize developing economies. Speaking at the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization in Kankendi, Abuja, the president, represented by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, stated that given the adverse effects of climate change, including devastating droughts, floods, desertification and extreme heat waves, a climate-resilient future is essential. He advocated for eco-partnerships to enhance access to cleaner energy technologies, share expertise, and invest in regional power pools to electrify underserved communities.
Climate change demands global resilience through stronger infrastructure, smarter energy systems, and integration of trade corridors. This is why Nigeria is supporting a reinforced Eco-Africa Trade Corridor. Let us harmonize tariffs, simplify custom procedures, and develop multimodal logistic platforms that can efficiently link Africa with the rest of the world.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of his administration to Nigerian army and indeed the armed forces towards combating all forms of security threats across the country. This is the message of the president to the grand finale of the Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2025 held in Kaduna.
The men and women of the Nigerian Army and Armed Forces more broadly, I reaffirm the present administration's unwavering commitment to your welfare and operational capacity. We will continue to invest in modern equipment, in intelligence, and in the human capital that drives your effectiveness. This is not a favor, it is a duty owed to those who depend on us.
Rural communities are the bedrock upon which lasting national development is built, and as such, its population must be empowered to adapt and thrive in the face of the growing challenges of climate change, economic uncertainty, and communal conflicts. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, highlights this in her message marking this year's World Rural Development Day. She says the theme of the celebration, Rural Development, Resilience to Global Change, speaks to the heart of the challenges faced by nations of the world and calls on Nigerians to work together to ensure that no community is left behind in the ongoing efforts to build a stronger and more resilient Nigeria. The Nigeria Immigration Service has launched an amnesty initiative for foreigners with expired visas or immigration violations, offering them the chance to regularize their status without penalties. A statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, Akinsola Akinlabi, indicates that the initiative, introduced in collaboration with the Ministry of Interior, took effect on 1st May 2025 and runs until 30th September 2025. The statement explains that the amnesty applies to three key categories: foreign nationals with expired visa on arrival, VOA, holders of expired single or multiple entry visas, and individuals with expired SEPAC whose renewal is overdue by more than 30 days. The service advised affected individuals to visit the website of Immigration Service to regularize their stay within the grace period and avoid overstay penalties. To ease the process, the Nigeria Immigration Service has deployed a dedicated support team to assist applicants while reaffirming its commitment to promoting lawful immigration, ensuring national security, and fostering a transparent and efficient immigration system. And now sports. Nigeria's Super Falcons kicked off their 2025 Women Africa Cup of Nations campaign with a comfortable 3-0 victory over Tunisia in their first Group B fixture at the Labi Zaouli Stadium in Morocco. The Super Falcons, who are gunning for a record 10th title, had played out a barren draw against Portugal in a pre-WAFCON warm-up game. However, it was 6-time African Player of the Year, Azizat Oshola, who broke the deadlock in the 4th minute through a glancing header via a perfectly weighted free kick into the box by Rinsola Babajide. Babajide would then enter the score sheet following a surging run and a low brilliant finish to the bottom corner to double the Falcons' lead just right before halftime. Substitute Chinwendu Ihezuo was the cherry on top in what was a dominating display by the Falcons as she latched onto a pass headed down by Esther Okoronkwo to finish from close range and make it 3-0. And those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good Morning Nigeria continues shortly with Adamola and Jume after this commercial break. Please don't go away.